What I'm
Um,
hearing is that the
is
way to
there
create the space is be the space.
is there a is there a bigger meme that will be created? Possibly, but only by people doing this. You know, you got to think that every religion started with one person seeing something that other people didn't see, you know, and telling other people about it, their disciples or their whatever, every one of them. And if you think about it that way, we all have the power to create a world for ourselves that is meaningful and makes sense. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to be, you have to start a new religion, but the internal workings um, of that exist in all of us. There's a really cool book that I read a long time ago called Cosmic Consciousness, written by a guy named Richard Buck. And there again, it was the latter part of the 19th century. And he said that the cosmic experience, this experience of wonder and, you know, uh, the universal existence was not just the province of, the people who started the major religions, but he's got about 100 or 200 other people in history, from Socrates. It starts out with Jesus and Buddha, but um, but he has a whole bunch of other people, Dante, and a whole bunch of writers, and and a lot of the Catholic saints, and whatever. And they all had one thing in common, which is they 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 saw life on their own terms. When they were roughly in their early 30s, they had this giant awakening, and then they spent the rest of their lives telling other people.
Yeah.
And it's a wonderful book to read because you realize this is not just the province of a few special people. And that's just the people who wrote about it or who became famous by it. But there's just have the conversations. You'd be surprised and find effective ways to have those conversations, and you'd be surprised how many people this is just not. I mean, my daughter, when I speak to my daughters, when talk about this stuff, they go, "Oh, Dad, stop being so heavy," you know. But they're 18 and 21, so
Yeah.
um, that's people like to stay light. I don't. That doesn't work. That doesn't work for me.
I'll have to send my son to you. My son's he's a junior in college working on a arts and letters degree, and he's taken philosophy and Greek and Latin and all these, and
Cool,
he comes home every day and it's like, oh, what deep conversation are you into, and this and that philosopher and what they're doing. Like he just
lucky
finished with
you.
oh, it's amazing. I mean, you know, I, I got a PhD in exercise physiology, but then, he starts talking. It's like, boy, I feel dumb. I forget all this stuff, but it's great. I mean, he prompted me. I've been reading a lot of Tehard, and he was talking about Thomas Aquinas, and it's like they're very similar. And I was talking about Teilhard, and he said, "Well, it sounds like he kind of derived a lot of his stuff from Aquinas." And I said, "I don't think that's quite true. I think he kind of came along it himself. I mean, he was a Jesuit priest, so he probably was at some point, at least affected by him a little bit." And so I immediately went online and I found a book about the two. So I'm reading that right now so that I can kind of join in that conversation a little bit more intellectually. But
but
it's
but
fun to think like that.
it's a testament to you that he's heading in that direction. You know, he didn't get that stuff from, you know, he didn't get that stuff from thin air. Do you know what I
Right.
mean? So, you know, so I'd be very proud of that. That would be great, you know. I mean, I've got
Yeah, I wish
my oldest daughter is in vet school,